Hey, Shalom, Akim. It's your brother Rutters at Aleph in GMS London Camp. First and foremost, when they give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, blessings unto the hopeful, sincere elect. Let's got some new news here, information in regards to more seditious times, you know, and more hatred. For the love of many shall wax cold, as the scripture says. The situation that happened in Burnsville. It says 2 law enforcement officers in Burnsville and a medic were killed this morning in an incident. And what does the scripture say? That the Most High, was Zechariah 3 and 5, or Zephaniah 3 and 5, that the Most High bringeth his judgment to light every morning, but the wicked perceiveth it not, roughly paraphrasing. So you had the situation, the law enforcement was called to a residence, then they ended up getting shot and killed, and the medic got shot and killed, first responder basically. So law enforcement sources tell the Pioneer Press that 3 Burnsville officers were shot, 2 fatally, and a Burnsville fire paramedic were also killed this morning in Burnsville. So this is the situation. It's more seditious times, man. What does the scripture say? That the love of the second Ezra, the 15th chapter, that they would not regard their kings nor princes, and the power of their judgment should stand in their hand. Roughly paraphrased, I'm going to read it anyway because I don't want to butcher the scripture. But it says, law enforcement sources tell the Pioneer Press that 3 Burnsville officers were shot, 2 fatally, and a Burnsville fire paramedic was also killed this morning in Burnsville. A city spokesperson confirmed an incident happened this morning in the 12,000 block of 33rd Avenue. It says, but was not yet willing to share details. As the law enforcement source says that the police were called to the residence for a domestic incident when shots were fired. It says the shooting was at a residential area just northwest of the I-35E and Cedar Avenue junction. It says it appears that the first time the police officer had been killed in the line of duty. This is to be the first time a police officer has been killed in the line of duty and the deadliest public safety incident since 1994. It says when 2 St. Paul police officers and a police dog were fatally shot. So yeah, man, so, people not going to regard their kings nor princes, meaning even the authorities, the government officials and all that, government workers, police, fire people that are medics. They're not going to regard their kings nor princes no more. They're not going to regard the authorities that are, working for the government, and they're going to take their legal actions into their own hands. It's going to be straight up unlawful deeds, civil unrest spiraling out of control, man, in these last days, man, because as I said, the love of many is waxing cold, and the Lord's pouring out that judgment, man. This is the time of the end, and things are definitely gonna evils are definitely multiplying in these last days, man. So there's an article anyway. I might put it in the description box if they let me upload it there. But this is breaking news anyway for the past couple of hours. Early this morning, this Burnsville police officers got laid out, and even the medic got shot and killed. First responder. So that just shows you, man, that the peoples are not going to regard their kings or princes at all. And the force of the sword, which the modern day sword is the gun, is accessible, man, because they got that Second Amendment right in the Americas. So it's going to be guns blazing, basically the Wild Wild West all over again. So 2 Ezra 15 and 14 says, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. Yeah, woe means destruction. So these are destructive times. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. It says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Yeah, and the modern day sword is the gun. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and an uprising, basically, that's what the word sedition means, uprising from the people against government. It says, and government workers. It says, for there shall be a sedition among men, and invading one another. So they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah. So those 2 officers and the medic went to, survey the situation, a domestic situation at that residence, and they ended up losing their life. because the people that they went to visit didn't care and didn't give a rat's ass on the fact that they're government agents. There was, they didn't have no regard for their kings nor princes. And the course of their actions basically shall stand in their power, meaning that it's going to be street justice. And that's what they basically applied to, applied to those officers and that medic. Street justice, what they call it. Civil unrest, man. It's going to get people go from civilized to uncivilized real quick, as people are going to find out in these last days, especially in these destitute times, man. Times of peril and great tribulation. Jacob's trouble, basically. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because things are going to get cut off. There's going to be quarantine zones, more lockdowns in that situation, especially if there's another, pandemic being released, or, time of martial law. It says, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. Yeah, Jacob's trouble. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So these are perilous times, man, And only the elect, they're going to be preserved from all these said judgments, man. But the rest of the people out there that, of the world, so to speak, they're going to have to deal with these situations, man. Ultimately, they're going to have to deal with the nuclear missiles, because that's going to be the final curtain call for the whole of America. ICBM missiles that's going to wipe out that whole landmass. Man, anyone that takes the MOT to the B, which is the Karagma, the RFID hip. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbour, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And this is the time we're coming into. Time of Jacob's trouble, the time of what? Great tribulation. So that's it, man. Time of great mourning, great death. It's nigh upon us, man, as it tells you in the next chapter, 2 Ezra 16. But I'll just read this last verse and then close out. It's Matthew 24, points in verse 12. And it says, and because iniquity shall abound, wickedness is at its highest right now, man. That's why judgment's getting ready to be poured out in America, because the wickedness is, the sins have reached up to the heavens, as the scripture says. So America's on its way out by way of the nuclear missiles, man. But even before that, all hell's going to be breaking loose. This is Matthew 24 and 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Yeah, so if you ain't had a police cop being shot dead for, responding to an incident since 1994, that means that, the love of people's basically out here, caring for one another and, caring for authorities and all of that stuff. That shit's going out the window, man. The love of many is waxing cold, and more, there's been more incidents of police getting attacked by civilians, man. Actually getting attacked by civilians that they're trying to help. Or, so this is going to keep, multiplying, basically. It's going to be more of these attacks. More cops and more medics getting laid out, man. Especially in the time of Jacob's trouble. So, we got to keep our eyes open, man. Because these are definitely perilous times. As I said, the elect, they're going to be shielded. They're going to be protected in these last days. Having the hedge of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai over them, man. And by way of the angels. So, we just got to watch the handiwork of the Lord. That's it, man. So anyway, with that, close out. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rekachodash. Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.